Hey everybody, it's Emma Lightning here, and this list has been quite the project. As you can see from the title, it's going to be a multi-parter. This particular list was requested by Hello I'm a Pizza in a comment on my meth project PSA ranking video. He suggested that I do the same thing with the Partnership for a Drug-Free America ads from the 80s and 90s. All of them. That being said though, I do love an impossible challenge. So I said, fuck it, you know what, I'll do it. The Partnership for a Drug-Free America was founded in 1985, and they have been churning out anti-drug PSAs ever since they arrived on the scene. They're really known as the pioneers in the drug PSA world, and their style ranges from weird and surreal to heavy and heart-wrenching to what the fuck did my eyeballs just watch? They've actually gone by a couple different names over the years. First, of course, they were the Partnership for a Drug-Free America. Then, for a little while, they were the Partnership at drugfree.org, not to be confused with drugfreeworld.org, because I did check, they're not the same thing. And for some reason, they're now known as the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids, so I guess somewhere along the line, they just kind of gave up on teenagers and adults. As this is going to be my longest review to date, I've set myself a couple of ground rules for this one. Number 1, I am sticking to 80s and 90s ads only. They have made some pretty good ones in the 2000s, such as Jamie and Nebraska Couple, but if I included those, then this list would probably never end. There may have been one or two that snuck by me and made it onto the list, because when in doubt, I played it safe and picked ones that looked like they were at least 20 years old or so, you know, give me some slack. Number 2. This is a sort of related note. I am only using ads that I'm absolutely sure come from the partnership, and this is easier said than done. So if it didn't have their name specifically stuck on the end, I didn't include it. And number 3, I am only counting ads that are 90 seconds or less. There are a couple notable exceptions, but that's just because they were so good that I couldn't not include them. And for the majority, the rule was cut off at 1.5 minutes. There were a few that were less than 10 seconds, so I disqualified those as well. Even with those rules, though, there are almost 100 of these. Obviously, even though I am splitting this up into 4 parts, I'm not going to be giving commentary in my usual way, because that would take forever. So I'll include a few sentences in text after each one, giving my general thoughts on it. Sort of like how EA Sports Big 899 does his PIF reviews, except this is going to be about 10 times the length of one of those. Finally, I should point out that this PSA hunting was done manually, and what I mean by that is there's no complete list of partnership PSAs online, as there would be for, say, the Meth Project or the Concerned Children advertisers. There are just too many of these to fit in one article with hundreds upon hundreds, well, maybe not hundreds upon hundreds, but hundreds of ads. And I'm not trying to brag when I say that. I'm just letting you guys know so that if there are any glaring errors I've made, if I break my own rules or leave out any particularly notable ads, which I'm almost positive I didn't because there are so many obscure ones on here, I'd be really surprised if I missed a famous one. So yeah, if I screw up, just know that I've watched a ton of these, and if you'll pardon the pun, my brain is a little bit fried. And that's enough of an intro for this one, I think. The video is going to be long enough without me talking. So let's get started. We're doing this worst to best. So here's part 1 of the ranking of most of the Partnership for a Drug-Free America PSAs.
Almost 400 years ago, African Americans were brought to this continent in chains. Stripped of their dignity, torn from their families, they never surrendered till they were free. Don't dishonor them by becoming a slave to heroin, cocaine, and crack.
Okay, Marty, now you said you smoke pot once a week. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well, when was the last time?
Friday night.
Friday night. Well, how'd you feel this week? You notice any side effects? Anything? Marty?
We're definitely here. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Go. You have to get your nose, your eyebrows. You understand how cool you're gonna be if you get this?
I don't know. Maybe on the belly button.
You know you look so cool. Eyebrows. And your lips. It'll be awesome.
You really think so? Maybe just my nose. Your friends can't talk you into doing something you really don't want to.
Next.
Or can they?
You'll be known as the coolest person.
Don't want to? Don't have to. I'm out of here.
So, your name's John, right?
Yeah,
And you said you still smoke pot once in a while?
yep,
You remember the first time you tried it?
pretty much.
How old were you?
12.
You ever move on to anything harder, like coke or acid or
No,
anything?
man, nothing like that. Not till I was 14.
Young people from all walks of life have volunteered to take part in a frightening experiment.
Next.
For a short time each day, they are allowing their brains to be altered. Altered to the degree that paranoia has been induced. Altered to cause loss of motor functions. Altered to have adverse effects on reproductive organs. Altered to produce heart malfunction and destruction of brain cells to the point of memory loss, and acceleration of the aging process. The most frightening part of this experiment is that it is not an experiment. It's what slowly happens to you when you keep smoking pot. No one has to alter your brain. You've already volunteered to do it to yourself.
So, your name's Annie, right?
Yeah.
And you said you smoke pot about twice a month, is that?
Yeah, about
Well, when did you start?
7th grade,
And now you're in
8th grade.
8th grade. You notice any drop in your marks since 7th grade?
Yeah, but it wasn't the pot, if that's what you're trying to say.
Well, what do you think it was then?
I don't know. I just got bored.
Bored of school?
Yeah.
From the moment these babies are born, they depend on their parents' natural instincts to teach them how to survive. So why is the animal with the most highly developed communication skills on Earth unable to talk to its children about the very real danger of marijuana? Trust your instincts. Talk to your children. It's perfectly natural.
This marijuana can mess you up. Right. We've been getting high for what? 15 years? Nothing's ever happened. Did I get into other drugs and start mugging people? Nah, didn't do anything. In fact, I'd say I'm exactly the same as when I smoked my first joint.
Eddie, did you even look for a job today?
No, Ma.
Marijuana can make nothing happen to you, too.
Life is more important than material things. You don't need all the gold and the diamond rings. Yeah, you make a lot of money and you make it fast. You get busted, you going straight to a jail cell, man. It's going on. Police are getting serious. I don't mean to diss, but you gotta get out of this. Straight up, man. It's a known fact. It ain't enough money that can get your life back.
Straight up, freeze. Straight up, freeze. Straight up, freeze. Straight up, police.
Yo, little brother, what's up with these drugs? You wanna make a lot of money and be a thug? You want these fancy cars to flaunt your money? But then you go to jail like all the other drugs. Straight up, it ain't cool. You know it ain't safe. So you got a 9mm in your face. It's a game you can't win, so don't try to play. Let's spread the word from New York to LA.
We're here to tell you that drugs are for suckers. Straight up, police. Straight up, freeze. Straight up, police.
Your kids might be able to hide their drugs from you, but they can't hide the facts. Go to drugfreeamerica.org.
You think saying no to marijuana makes you look stupid. This is what saying yes looks like. Marijuana. Yeah, right.
Get out of here. You're gorgeous. Yeah, right. So, how come I'm the only one who hasn't been asked to the prom?
Oh, who cares? No, nobody's asked me either.
So what is it?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
There are lots of different names for noses. Snout, schnoz, ski slope, booger factory. But no matter what kind you have, or what you call it, if you use your nose to sniff household stuff to get high, you could get brain damage. Or die. And that's called just plain stupid!
This is the brain activity of a normal 14-year-old. This is the brain activity of a 14-year-old after smoking marijuana. If you use pot, you're not using your brain.
So, you finally got to wear your shoes the right way. You're picking out your own clothes, your own music. You're going to the mall by yourself. And that haircut, that was your idea. You're making your own decisions. So don't blow this one. Don't smoke pot.
Son, your mother and I have to talk to you.
It's important.
Marijuana. The wacky weed, it is bad. Of this I know, believe your dad. Remember this, it's your decision, but marijuana can lead to prison.
Any way you choose to talk with your kids about drugs is a good way. Call for your free brochure.
Yo, you want to play some baseball? No, thanks. I'm gonna chill. Dude, want to get some rock and roll tonight? Nah, I'm just gonna hang. Hey, man, want to do some skateboarding at the mall? Nah, I'm not into it.
You thought smoking pot would take you places you'd never been. So how come you're going nowhere?
I've seen what drugs can do to people. If it doesn't kill you, it'll kill your soul.
Drugs are nowhere, and I'm talking from experience.
I've probably been through everything, done everything, took everything, and I can sure tell you that drugs are no way to go.
Don't lose your friends. Don't lose yourself. Don't be a fool. It's no way to rock.
keep smoking crack, and eventually you'll be left with nothing.
I guess I didn't really think about it, you know, what was going to happen. I mean, I ended up buying heroin, and I used, then I lost my job. I had to go on the street, and now I have sex with men for money, support my habit. I wish I didn't have to be like this, because there was a time, there was a time before this. I don't want to get back there.
Check it out. I got down there early. There, I'm walking in. Jimmy. Ow. Ow. Big white. Ow.
These kids are morons, right? They'll smoke or do anything, man. Anything they think's hip.
Opens up his jacket. A medicine cabinet, bro. Oh my God. I get in there. He's like
$5. $5 for, a blue cap, something like that.
Got it, then you sell them bigger later.
Yeah, for free this time. No, Al will hook you up. Peer pressure.
I mean, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, look at me. I turned out okay. You gotta use your brains, right?
Yeah. We're gonna hook Pedro up, man. Yeah, he'll puke a little bit. It'll be good for him, though. He will hook you. What's up? Eyes are like, ah!
Here we go. One big push. Big push. Congratulations. It's a teenager.
Don't even think about going to Kevin's.
It takes one powerful mother to have a teen. Learn how to keep yours safe and stay sane at